Could you define mercy from the Saddam perspective?
Sure. The wonderful thing about mercy is that it's like grace. It's like a blessing. In that mercy allows for all life to have the freedom to exist as it is. So it's not the responsibility. If mercy were a consciousness, it wouldn't be responsible to fit your life into this pattern, this pattern, this pattern. All of creation it comes from this aspect of mercy, where in each world that we live in, there's a degree of relevance or mercy that allows life to manifest, which means that if life is of a lower order, it manifests in the lower portion of that world. We would say if life was very deep and angry, we have a right to be angry and deep, but it's confined to the lower astral state. Or in this world we find ourselves that when we are in that, mercy allows us to do it, but it also allows us to suffer, allows us to experience, allows us to grow, allows us to discover our lives, and allows us the freedom to change it. So mercy is like water. When you put a rock in the water, it just accepts it. And mercy is also saying that the worlds that we live in are so big and so free that there's room for everybody and everything. And so that's kind of a simple explanation of mercy. It allows all life to be.
So how does an attitude of mercy affect how we deal with others?
Well, the thing about having mercy for others is that we don't want to ever feel that we have the right to tell them what to do or not to do. We can suggest that if they're in our company, if we have a right as a parent to tell our children what to do, to guide them. But the thing about mercy is we try to recognize that each individual has the right to look at life differently, because they are different and they are unique. And the individuality and the uniqueness and the beauty of each individual is never realized if there's a world where there isn't mercy, you see. So by us understanding mercy and learning to incorporate it into our lives, we begin to realize the right, and not just of other people to express what they want, but we have a right to feel what we feel, and we have a right to be what we are and to think and act in the way that we do. Doesn't mean we're not responsible for what we say and do and all. It just means that each person has to have that right. An important thing about mercy and having the right to be, even though it may appear to be difficult or disorderly or whatever, is that the person has to learn responsibility, and they can't develop responsibility or the ability to respond if they don't have the freedom to experience it, you see. Okay? So if someone is doing like murder, we would say, well, they shouldn't have the freedom to murder, but if they murder, then we realize that that person realizes that they took another person's life, and then they begin to realize the repercussions of it somewhere along the way. Because we, in the Saddam paradigm, realize that we're soul, and that only the body dies, that we never die. So there really is no death, but there is this continuation of learning and unfolding. We begin to realize that, sure, we have to have laws against different things so people have the opportunity to learn. But mercy of itself is mostly in the spiritual realm, and that spirit allows soul to do what it needs to do. Another thing about mercy that I haven't ever mentioned much is that it has to do with free will. Soul has to have the freedom to do, just like it has to have the freedom to not do. And without mercy, it doesn't have that freedom. Okay?
Okay.